Like the video, thumb up the video. Like the video, thumb up the video.
It seemed like everybody watched the House of Consciousness. Got them tuning in here in the States to every continent. Worldwide. You got your holy book, your references and documents. Then hit your brother's side and get it cracking if you're confident. Sign at the TV, it don't get no more reality. It's helping us stay mindful of the struggle in totality. Humble yourself and let the commentary resonate. Living in these times, this here is sure to help you elevate.
In a new zone. Hope the dialogue ain't too strong. Y'all know that we've been waiting too long.
And ever since I stepped into this paradigm, it's the time all I got is building on my mind.
TV is a black throne, where kings and queens come get their facts on. Just be prepared to have your mind blown.
And ever since I stepped into this paradigm, most of the time all I got is freedom on my mind. For real, for real.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
I'm the Rock Squad up, Magi Archers in the building, please believe. Oh shit. If you ain't Sinetta, no time for that interview, dog. I put my shit out for niggas, I don't send it to blogs. Clan kill off the Buddha, not being discreet. One puff this big pops and projectiles. Between the sheets. Sun run, cold game, bring your cleats. The best flow blow, Eskimo, penguin feet. Don't need no blunt to burn. You run the turf with 10 niggas on the block. That's a punt return. Ayo, Dolomite prototype soldier with the solar light. Saber and he hold it like he hold a mic. Golden ice benders, sipping on that overpriced poltergeist spirits. Ripping at the open mic, spoke the nice lyrics like Mama move mean overnight. Golden motorbike holding on some Tron shit. That nice neon kit is on it. The king's libation with exotic liqueur. The queen's vibration like a Sada Shakur. A lot of decor, imported foreign threads, they ain't got at the store. Nubian Kush and black top pottery jars, 39% THC, the quality pure. Old rappers try to spit ain't hot as before. It's like I'm 5 flights above, bust the shots at the floor. Cats switch up their style when they ain't got it no more. Cause they gotta keep their product in stores to feed their kids. See what that weed did? Yeah, yes man agreeing on everything we said. I smother the mic like it's the love of my life. Don't get sliced and beat with the butt of the knife. Brother polite, I say I'm animalistic, cause I still be in the hood with my hand on my pistol. The Hebrews think I'm cannibalistic. E5 divination, channel the mystic. Audio visionary, let's play poetical dictionary. Picture me burning down your missionary. Yeah, then I send you religion. That red dot on your head, that's Hindu tradition. Invisible, independent, intrinsic shit. I'll bring it all to an end with indivisible gains. Charles Xavier, getting your brain. Mental anguish or manifesting physical pain. Wisdom remains to dance in the chemical rain. Breathe slow, then I'm up out of this physical plane. Got military machinery that exercise weaponized greenery. Shine at a jeopardize the scenery, son. Bruh, the beam 10 times your distance. Inclines convention. Stop rising with no trend line resistance. The parabolic breakout. I'm F-16 with the aeronautic fake out.
God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer.
That's who it is.
The God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer.
Black African power was good, was happening. Well organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's Bobby banging this bitch. What's good, family? How y'all doing, man? Y'all know what it is, man. We here to continue the conversation. Y'all see the title, man? Flat Earth, Missing Earth. There's certain words we're not allowing into the debate. We cannot talk about planets in the debate. If you are a flat. Can't do it, not gonna let you do it. You can't use the word science. Can't do it, ain't gonna let you do it. We're taking certain things off the table. We just got to. We can't let y'all run around here ramrodding, just saying anything you want to say and confusing the people. The rules and regulations are in play. First of all, man, let me shout out all the people, man. Got 92,000 in the building, man. You got Miss D. What's going on with you? Infinite Goddess, 444. Sean Anderson, what it do? Kimmy, 432. I see you, Ali. Ba. You gotta say ba. What's up, Spin Barrel? What it do? What it do? What it do? I see you, aka EJG, aka Shango Miles. What's up with you, man? Black Light, Lord, what it do? Omar Reed, Bond Dog is in the building. Man, appreciate everybody coming through like that, man. Y'all know what it is. Got 102,000 in the building, man. What's good? Cedric, I see you. I'm gonna drop that link early, man. We're gonna have some fun for about an hour, man. Let the people just ease their way on in the building, man. Because we're doing it right. Hey, Jay Commandor, what's good with you? In the space. Man told me we ain't go to outer space. Last time I checked, we in space. Miss Lamb, Monica Lamb, what's going on with your shoulder? What it do? Shout out to all my Baltimore people, man. What's good? Flowers, I see you, man. Boy, I see you went on ahead, got drafted in the first round. Boy, them Ravens gonna have a tight thing. Baltimore's in the house, man. Tony Tone, Black African Power, Tony Tone. Look, man, bring that energy to the ground. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all make sure, man. Make sure, don't forget, man. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets, man. It's going down Saturday, May 13th. It's almost upon us, man. $30 tickets, man. That's a small price to see your hero get beat up. We not playing. Science is undefeated. Y'all see the picture in the background. Tell you what. That man better bring a picture of his flat earth in that daggone building. Bet he can't do it. Now, I know I got a lot of flats in the audience. I know it. Send your man your pictures of the flat. Can't call the flat earth. Because for the last 2,000 years or so, 4,000 years, we clearly know, clearly understand the size and shape of the earth. 2,000 years, give or take. Man, we here enjoying the thing we doing. I see you, Kaba. What's up? Kaba Kara. Like that. Mosey 77, aka Took Mosey. Yeah, you're wild out. I ain't listening to you. You ain't got no sense. Come on, read the definition. Man, knock it off. We got one. George, still 247. Look, man. I see you, house. What's good? Yeah, man, we use a basic 6th, 7th grade book, man, to debunk anybody talking that craziness, man. Look, man, we also simulcast into the pseudo killers. The pseudo killers, man. Go over there and holler at them, man. We're enjoying what it is we supposed to do. We feeling good. We looking good. If you look good, you do good and you feel good. I'm gonna drop the link, man. Anybody want to get flattened out, let me know. Flatten them out. Come up here with that anti-scientific rhetoric if you want to. See what you got. How to be the pseudo in as little as words as possible. Why you call people pseudo? Man, people hate that word. They be running from that word. You know why people don't like that word? They don't like that word because it exposes you for what you really don't know, acting like you do know. We've all been through it in our development as human beings, trying to learn. We grow up learning. If we lucky, we die learning. I'm saying that we should continue to learn every day. I'll tell you what's funny to me, though. What up, Chris? MVP? You spooked out. Chris spooked out. Chris, you've been spooked out for a long time, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. But you know, you do your thing. I'm gonna give you that. But boy, you spooked out. Huh? You plan on doing some work? Hold on. That's a pencil, boy. I ain't even know they still use pencils. Right there, get that. Don't hurt it. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. Got that first caller, man. Hey. Got that pseudo killer official in the building. Got another caller popped up on it. Hey.
Why I gotta be spooked out, man? Why I gotta be spooked out, man? What's wrong with you, man? Why y'all on here talking about God? Don't you? We love God.
Yo, you know you spooked out, yo. You be trying, yo, but you can't.
You said I gotta adapt more science or that dark ether. Start talking about more of that.
My name is God, And we shall split the Red Sea. My children, calm down, black people. You're not the original.
I almost
Yeah,
got
man.
to admitting he's an atheist. He almost was there.
Well,
Then he
Chris
moved right back.
can't make it. He can't get over that other thing, Chris.
Nah. I'm gonna leave all that alone. Yo, man, I'm really riding for you on this flat earth. I'm really riding for you on this
Okay.
flat earth thing, man.
Okay.
You know, I was dealing with it today over there on my channel. Me said wasn't. I ain't never seen nothing like this before in my life, man. One brother said he don't believe in gravity. I said I'm done. Cedric said I'm out, Chris. I can't take it no more. He said I'm gone. I can't do it no more.
Craziest thing ever, yo. Like, why would you put yourself in front of the firing squad? I'm gonna shoot them up. Why would you do that?
Hey, yo, what I'm saying? Hey, yo, the brother said, yo,
water.
Hey, yo, did you hear what the brother said? He said, in order for us to prove that flat earth don't exist, we got to get a large body of water and we got to make it form into a sphere. I said, what am I, the Avatar? You asking something that I can't possibly do.
Wow. Chris told him, come up and shut up. Chris told him,
come up and shut up. Don't source up and shut up. Cup up and shut up.
Hey, you know we got the clips. Hold on, we got the clips. Bobby clips. We got the clip. It's funny, man. I'm enjoying it, man. I think we having fun, yo.
Chris, hey, man. Hey, like I said, oh Lord, thank God one of the pseudo killers showed up on the channel today, because Flat Earth had everybody frustrated on my channel. I said, man, I'm putting books down for a minute. I'm finna pick up some damn science books, man, and try and read some 8th grade science books to defeat this thing, man. This was crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, but on all realness, the brother said that he don't believe. The brother that played football for the Dallas Cowboys been hit upside the head a bunch of times.
I gotta see,
bro.
I gotta see his license. Make sure it's him. I don't believe him.
Oh no. He only had 4 tackles in 8 years. He did all right. He did all right.
I don't believe nobody, bro.
Hey, I don't believe him.
Yeah, 4 tackles, 12.7 yards.
What he had 4.2.
You saw how
What up, Serious B?
Peace. What's happening? What's happening, fellas?
Right.
What's going on?
Man,
man, I'm here to give my support for Ankh, man, on this debate coming up, man. I can't wait for it, man. I'm giving my support to him today, man.
Y'all supposed to know I don't take a debate unless I know him as Amari. We already gave him the first slide. Go check the tell. We gave first slide what you can't use. We already tell you stuff you can't use. Can't use the word science. Don't use it. Can't use the word buoyancy. Don't do it. Can't use magnetism. Don't use it. You're done.
Nope.
Don't even
say the word buoyancy.
Don't even say planet.
Can't say planet. Don't do it.
We already know what a planet is.
And
whatever you're talking about is not a planet.
Right,
whatever you're talking about
is not a planet.
Don't talk to me about that.
Source. We need a primary source. We need a picture.
I don't need no listen. People are spending their good money. They do not want to hear us just ramble on and make up stuff. But I know it's certain. Don't use the word science, because now I'm gonna put the scrutiny of science on you. Bring your pictures. I might let you use your. Y'all think I should use his pic? Yeah, I'm gonna let you use your pictures, Sanchez. You don't gotta have a source for that.
Can't be
your
Photoshop though, right? It's like you're using the Photoshop blue marble. But those are the actual photos of the flat earth that he's using, right? So you can't do that. But you know what? But Chris, you made a great point when you said that. You said that somebody came on your show and they said for you to prove that the earth is round, that you would have to create a huge body of water, right? Something almost like to the magnitude of the earth, right? And you know, we talk about that in science denial. Peace, Preem.
Peace. What up, y'all?
Right. And that's classic science denial, right? What you're doing, you're putting impossible, right, expectations on the shoulders of science. But at the same time, having very little a very short bar in terms of what you would expect for evidence for the flat Earth. That's classic.
Oh, no. Serious B. Hold on. Listen, guys. Family, listen to what he asked us to do. He said this. Hey, yo, Cedric, hold on. The science experiment that he said he conducted was with a 8-year-old in a cup of water. That's what he said he did.
Right.
I said, I'm done.
But he wants
I'm going back to being the Hebrew. I'm going back to being the Hebrew after this. He want me to be a waterbender all of a sudden.
The cup proves it. Go create a planet. Why don't you?
Oh boy. Oh man, this shit crazy.
Peace,
ball of water.
Peace. But yo, man, it's crazy, man. This is
y'all talking over each other. We gotta go one at a time. You're like feeding it. Y'all like a feeding frenzy right now. One at a time.
Oh boy. Hey man,
there's blood in the water, brother. There's blood in the water.
Humans
funny,
got
man.
flat heads. See, if humans had flat heads, I'd go with you. Flat heads, flat Earth, they match up. Because you do a headstand, you flat head on the flat, the flat head. He's flat out line, ladies and gentlemen. He's flat out line. Let me stop, man.
Wow. He continuously makes the claim that the Earth is a spinning ball of water in the globe model, denying that there's water on top the land mass. So he's denying that there's a molten core. He's denying there's rock and all the geology that exists. It's just a ball of water. So we would need to acquiesce to his faulty premise to even engage in the discussion of a big mass of water. Your premise is flawed.
We talk about it. If the Earth doesn't have that molten core, you got to give me that magnetic field that you always talk about. We got to give that back. Don't talk about that magnetic field, because the molten core is what generates that magnetosphere.
Right.
So well,
give me that. The thing I asked him was, what happens when you leave the Earth's atmosphere, right? The brother sat right there and said, well, there's no gravity. And I said, so what happens when you're within the Earth's atmosphere? He said up there, said, no, that means that you just not holding the object no more. That's why it hits the ground. I said, I'm done. I'm out of here, man. I can't do this no more. I've never known it. I didn't know flat earthers was this crazy. They sound like abos. I mean, I didn't know they was this crazy. I want no part of that argument. Good luck, Good luck, Good luck. Good luck.
One of them
you're gonna lose all your hair.
Oh, my fault, bro. One of them
you gotta go ahead.
Yeah, one of them told me one day that we're not falling down, the earth is coming up. So when we think we're falling, that's the earth coming up to us. They twist reality, that they literally just making up stuff on the fly, it seemed like, man. And the thing is, all of the flat earthers got a different explanation for how they see the earth as being flat. Some of them go biblical, some of them try to go science, but it's really pseudoscience. It's funny, man. It's just funny. But sometimes their attitude, it kind of make you like, sometimes you got to just realize that they dealing with a short deck, man. Ignorance is a real thing.
But you know what that is, Preem, you know the whole idea of the accelerating plane, right? That's a principle called the equivalency principle, right? Within physics, and it's a real thing. Again, it's science strangely mixed. The brother Ankh talks about this, right? And what the equivalency principle says is that something that would be accelerated downward due to gravity and something that would be accelerating upward, similar to like an elevator, you couldn't distinguish the two, right? There is no way to distinguish. That's why they say this acceleration equivalency principle. So to get around gravity, the existence of gravity, they say that no, isn't gravity pulling you down, is that the plane is accelerating upward. It's an entire perversion of the equivalency principle that's explained within physics.
No, that's not
interesting.
No.
So they're saying the gravity comes from the plane flying upwards and we being on top of that plane.
Like it's rockets on the bottom.
Right.
Like
Similar,
like the plane is consistently moving up, and when we jump, we
never knew that.
just leaping ahead of it, and the ground is moving up to catch us.
Right. Have you've ever felt like when you're on an elevator, that initial acceleration on an elevator, you can feel it, right?
Yep. Yeah, you can feel it. Yeah, the momentum.
Then it evens out because you're no longer accelerating. You're basically moving up at a constant rate, right? What they're saying is that force, right? Because again, right, nothing moves in the universe without a force. That force is the acceleration, right? Physics explains gravity as an acceleration downward, right? They say the acceleration due to gravity, the 9.8 meters per second squared.
Yep.
Right. So yes, that's how they skate around gravity, because the reason why they're so scared of gravity, because it destroys everything they talk about, right? The whole formation of planets, right? Everything in terms of the macrocosm within our cosmos is governed by gravity. That's why they want to get rid of it.
Yep. And it only works with spherical objects. It literally only works. That's the only explanation for it, because that's the only explanation for everybody around the globe sticking to the globe, because everything is drawn to the center. That's the fundamental law. So they it's like so much science that they have to circumvent to get it, and they just twist themselves in mental knots to do it.
Well, you know what, Ankh, you're definitely going to be in for a show, because he's going to bring his people with him. 1, 2, get ready for the Laugh Olympics with his slideshow, because that slideshow he going to present to you is brother, he going to do nothing but present cartoons to you, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He going to do it. He gonna do it. Get ready. I'm telling you. I didn't witness this brother in rare form now. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, he gonna do it.
No, he ain't.
So hey guys, I gotta get out of here. I'm getting ready for the funeral in the morning here. So
all right, bro.
I'll talk to you guys later,
right,
yo,
bro.
man.
Okay.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
Okay.
Peace.
Morning coffee. Check out morning coffee.
Yeah.
All right.
The biggest. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I ain't got it. The biggest thing you gonna have, Ankh, is that he gonna be saying so much stuff wrong that you ain't gonna be able to get to all of it. That's gonna be the biggest problem.
Yeah, you can't follow a flat earther with all of these claims. That's the thing, right? That can never be your strategy going in, because then at that point you're going to be playing whack-a-mole. Right? Because whatever you explain with true science, right? They can just completely dismiss it. Well, no, that's just the scientific. That's completely wrong. What you were told in classes and in school, that's completely wrong. So they can be completely dismissive on huge fundamental laws that we understand through empirical evidence. They can just dismiss it outright. That's why you can't go through that rabbit hole.
Nope.
Right?
Nah.
Make them swim in deep water. Let's go. Show me your flat earth. I need primary evidence. If you don't got a picture, we don't have a conversation. You can't use these scientific terms. Where you going? You can't go nowhere. You're in that box. And we're going to keep you there and beat you up. You're in the UFC. The ring is closed behind you. You ain't got nowhere to run. It's not an infinite plane over here. The ring is completely circled in. You got nowhere to run.
Right. And that's one of the interesting things. That's why science uses models. Because when you use a scientific model, when you explain one natural phenomenon, you don't completely abandon another one in your explanation. Right? Yeah, this is one of the fundamental problems with what they're doing is they can explain one thing if they want to get rid of gravity and then explain it with electromagnetism. But then you completely, you mess up another phenomenon in the natural world when you do that. I tell Ankh, it's like, someone creating a Ferrari and then put on a Ferrari that's well designed, and I'm gonna put a set of square tires on it. It's again, their fundamental model is wrong. Right.
They don't even have them. They don't even have a model.
They don't have a model, and they don't have predictions. And you're gonna hammer him on that. We can do predictions based on the globe model. We can tell you what time the sun is gonna set 10 years from now. Give me a prediction. If you don't have a prediction, you don't have a model. Simple as. It's like they got nowhere to go. We keep them in that ring and beat them up. Let him do his tangents, but you got to answer these questions.
It's a great point, right? Because even if you did have a hypothesis that you guessed it, you basically made it up. You guessed it. It's, you know, that's how science does it. It sees a phenomenon, it tries to explain it. How do they explain it? They guess it first, right? Mm-hmm. But the power of a valid hypothesis is its predictive power, right? If you can verify it with empirical evidence and it has predictive power, then you may be on to something, right? Does your flat earth power, right? Can it stand to empirical evidence? And can you make a prediction about the natural world? That's the bar. Nope. That's the bar of science.
No and no.
Right? And it can't be a philosophical argument, right? You can't use logic, right, and reasoning, right, in a scientific conversation. Those are logic and reason is great, but it's at one point you're gonna have to measure something. You're gonna have to test something, right? That's why I love philosophical conversations. I love using you can twist yourself in knots, right, with logic and reason, right? But again, logic and reason will never be enough to overthrow empirical evidence, and that's what science stands on.
And even when you're in the realm of philosophy, we start by distinguishing conceptual versus factual or empirical concepts. Empirical concepts are based on observation, and then you have this whole philosophy, and then you got conceptual ideas, which are our imagination, and we can explore the depths of our imagination in philosophy. Doesn't mean that anything that you come up with there meets the empirical standards.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, and they kind of have an advantage in these type of debates because of what B said. Nobody's getting up there doing equations and you know what I mean? Like this isn't the nature of this community's debates, and that's where and they like to live in that gray area. We got to figure out some type of way to pull them out of that gray area and get them to the level of science where everything is exact, down to the nth degree, down to the decimal point. But that's the problem. They're not doing that. They're staying in the realm of philosophy and trying to apply it to science. And that's the hard part that we have, because in reality, we have to get down to the math. We have to show how we have to explain the sines and the cosines and the tangents and the elementary mathematics that went into proving that the earth was round and to prove that gravity existed. But when you're dealing with this community, we on YouTube, it's hard to do that. Like, it's hard to get into the depths of what's actually going on, because it's not simple. It starts off simple, but then, you know what I mean, we all went through it. We all went through math class and we all went through science class, that it was like we didn't want to do it. But if you really want to understand these concepts, that's the level that we got to take it to. But who is actually going to go there? Like Sanchez, he not going and relearning algebra 2 and trig and all of that type of stuff. He not going through that. He not going through the basics of science. He not going to do that. He going to stay in that gray area where he can maintain his following and he can just pretty much convince people with rhetoric. But it is what it is, but you can't really do that. But it's kind of like it becomes religious at one point, because it's an article of belief and not an article of proof.
Yeah. And I'll give you another example, in terms of how you mentioned, it's like, okay, well, science forces you to go back and pick up where you left off as well. If you weren't good in algebra, right, you can't jump into making predictions about the natural world without going back and picking up where you left off. Well, I'll give you an example. Like, for instance, easy concepts in your mind that think are easy from a natural world perspective aren't very easy. Like, for instance, if I ask you, what is energy? a lot of people say, well, energy is the ability to do work. But is that really energy? I think you just described, when you say energy is the ability to do work, no, you described the relationship between energy and work, right? But you didn't tell me what energy is, right? Who sits down and really thinks about it at a fundamental level? We all know it. We have a fundamental, I guess you would say, a layperson's understanding of what energy is, but do we really understand scientifically what it is? You know, and those are simple questions that don't have simple answers underneath.
Because if you're looking at thermal energy, you got to understand the process of applying energy to a system whereby the molecules are going to move, and this generates the interaction between the molecules, produces a certain amount of friction, which produces heat, and heat can be used, etc. And then you got electromagnetic energy that I can't explain how that works.
Right. So essentially energy is the tendency to perform an action, right, between two systems that exist in a different state. Right. Let me explain more. You talked about thermal energy, right? So the ability to do work, you always say that is a hot object transfers heat to a cooler object, right? Right. So the hotter object is doing work to the cooler object.
The cooler object.
It's because those two systems exist within a different state, a different thermal state. But what if the two objects were at the same temperature? Right? You can't heat up something with another object at the same temperature, right?
No, neither cool,
right?
Neither cool something.
Exactly. Right. And that's why if you had that condition, right, because energy is relative, right? For all intents and purposes, there would be no energy between the two systems.
No.
Because energy is relative to the two systems.
To the two systems.
Right? Because you wouldn't be doing any work. So it's those fundamental things that science forces you to understand, right? People that practice science have to understand that to a very, very, you talked it to the nth degree. You mentioned Anonymous. Yes, you have to understand that, right, to a very detailed degree, as well as the mathematics that goes corresponds with it as well.
Yeah, that's why when we understand simply how heating up air creates more volume, creating more volume, you create buoyancy, which creates lift. It's a simple principle that you understand, but you have to be rooted in the fundamentals of basic science to get this stuff. Otherwise, you make silly arguments like things fall because they're heavier than air. Huh?
Right. Or things fall because it fell because you dropped it.
Huh? No. Force is being applied. If there was no force, there's no reason that it didn't fall up or to the left or to the right. There's a reason that it falls specifically down.
Right. And you know what? The idea that something fell because you dropped it, that's a very intuitive answer. That answer makes sense to you, don't it? Right? It makes perfect sense that if I drop this bottle of Coke, it falls to the ground, right? Because our brains, our Homo sapiens brains, have evolved, right, to understand the natural world in that way, right? There was no reason for us to understand what gravity was at a fundamental level or what electromagnetism was at a fundamental level, right? There would be no real need to do so, right? But us, as time evolves and we learn more, right? We rewire our brains to understand things at a fundamental level, right? It's things that we understand today based on modern science that 200, 300 years ago would blow the minds of people back then, right? Things that regular lay people know today.
Yeah.
Yep. And the thing about it is, like, people don't realize, like, what I notice is there is this train of thought that scientists are literally making things up as they go along. But people are ignoring the fact that if they were doing that, the things that we use every day would not work. Like, the funniest thing to me is we're on the internet. All of us, we're in different states. some of us in different countries, and we are literally on a platform where we can look at each other and have a conversation in real time. Like we take it for granted, our phones like this, to the point where it's normal. But do you realize the level of knowledge it takes to put a computer in our hand and then for us to be at any point in the world and to connect them to the point where it's actually functional? Like that, like people don't understand the level of expertise that it takes to do the most basic things that we take for granted. Like chemists, they can tell you literally how many atoms are in a molecule of an element. Like if you tell them if you tell them you have, I don't know, 8 pounds of gold, they can literally tell you how many atoms are in that 8 pounds of gold. Yeah. Like, and these are things that are measured. But if you are unaware, like the one thing I always say is I have enough education to the point where I know is so much that I don't know, but I also respect the people who do. And that's why people say, well, you didn't know that, you just did good research. Yeah, that's the point, because I don't know, but I know where to go to get the truth. And the truth is not just on some random dude that's trying to make a rhetorical argument on physical realities. That's not how none of this works. But that's the bridge that we got to get, man, because we so out there mentally. And honestly, it comes back to our adherence, or we wear it as a badge of honor. We're the most spiritual people on the planet, and this, that, and the other. But that same mentality is what has us skeptical of science, and our skepticism is literally holding us back. It's literally stopping us from progressing in the world. And that's the point that we got to get past. God ain't the answer to everything, bruh. Sometimes we got to go get in the dirt and plant something, or pull something out of the dirt, or we got to figure out how to create something. And you're not creating it with nonsense. You're not creating it with flat earth. You're not doing what can you do with flat earth? Because with gravity and the knowledge of how gravity works and electromagnetism and understanding latitude and longitude, I can do something with that. What can you do with thinking that the earth is flat?
You know,
so that's the point, right? So if there's nothing they can actually do with the flat earth, is it dangerous? So I will tell you that it's not so much that actually believing that the earth is flat that's dangerous. It's the road it's on. It's on that road, right, that says don't read books. It's on that road that says don't go to school. It's on that road that says higher learning is just flim flam. It's on that road that says don't listen to the experts, listen to me. It's that road with that sign with a white person face on it with an X. Don't matter what they saying, they white. And right beside that sign is another white person who teaches misinformation, and you pick the misinformation white person over the expert, but claim to hate white people. That's that road that's dangerous. It's that road that says, don't trust the FDA, and they all will say it. And I'm damn near on the wrong channel to even say this. Don't trust the FDA, but yet you allow your children to go in the refrigerator to get FDA-approved food. That's the problem with that road. It's full of foolery. It's the walking contradiction road. Don't trust science, but yet you get on a highway and drive 80 miles an hour and hit that damn brake. Black people ain't make no brakes. It's the road where food-borne pathogens kill more people every year than a vaccine ever did. I'm going to say this again. Eating vegetables, corn, spinach. There are certain pathogens that can get on this food that kill people every year. Peanuts. peanut aversion kills more people a year than vaccines in the history of virology ever, every year. But that road tells you that the vaccine's gonna kill you. Crazy to me, man. That role is full of foolery and incomplete information, and it always relies on one person. And that one person is the only one that can generate capital off of telling you that, because anything they tell you, you couldn't take it to school, you couldn't take it to work, and you sure as hell couldn't take it to build a business, not unless you was lying to other people. It's the flim flam bam bam boom. It talks about overthrowing high-level medical science. Look, Bobby Banger, that's the white man science. And then we pull this up right here. They say it. They say it's the white man science, right? They make this statement, and then we pull it up. These are the same people that are dressed like Egyptians and wear Ankhs and say our ancestors this and our ancestors that. And Ankh, you practicing the white man's science. We don't need books. Everything is not in a book. Damn. I thought it was. Huh. Shit me. Let's see. Same people. You practicing, you giving our community the white man's science. And then we pull it up. And we say, well, where did actual science come from? Science is the systematic endeavor that builds and organizes knowledge in a testable form, in the form of testable explanations and predictions about the universe. So if the flat is flat, then what's the prediction of gravity on a flat? Science has prediction power. The earliest written records of identifiable predecessors to modern science come from where, y'all? Ancient Egypt. And everybody in the damn community love ancient Egypt. And everybody in the community say the ancient Egyptians is black. But this is the heading. It says science. But the people that's trying to teach you tell you you can't look at an encyclopedia, and they'll talk crazy about Wikipedia. But we can go to Encyclopedia Britannica. Any encyclopedia worth will give you this. I'm going to say this again for all y'all to say, Ankh, Bobby Banger, you teaching the white man's science. It says the earliest written records of identifiable predecessors to modern science come from ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and from around 3000, 1200 BCE. This predates any European civilization, ladies and gentlemen. It's their contributions. They're talking about the Nile Valley in Mesopotamia. They say their contributions to mathematics and astronomy, not astrology, ladies and gentlemen. Astrology is the white man's science. I lie to you not. China has astrology. Europeans develop astrology, but the Africans, they're not the playa. They develop astronomy and medical. Look, and medicine. Enter, watch this. So mathematics, astronomy, not astrology, right? And medicine, it entered and shaped. See that word entered means to come in and shape. That means to form it, to put it in a position and shape. Who did it shape, ladies and gentlemen? This is coming from the encyclopedia. It shaped the Greek natural philosophy of classical antiquity. That's why I taught about the Greek philosophers, Aristotle, Plato, Pythagoras. Charles Darwin was a natural scientist. He was a naturalist. And so the natural philosophy ended up being natural science or naturalists. And then it transformed to scientists. I walked y'all back, and for that, y'all threw tomatoes and bananas at me. right in front of your face. So it entered and shaped and formed the Greek natural philosophy, classical antiquity. Therefore, formal attempts were made. Listen, formal attempts were made to provide explanations of events in the physical world. That's why I be saying y'all spooked out, because your ancestors was trying to make what explanations and events of the physical world. Not the invisible world, but the physical world. Watch this, based on natural causes. And so your great ancestors was trying to give you information, right, about the natural world based off of natural occurrences or natural causes. I'm trying to figure out what in the hell is going on. How are you upkeeping your ancestors? But promote pseudoscience. Somebody make it make sense.
Somebody make this make some damn sense. How in the hell we teaching pseudoscience, but yet claiming to stand on the shoulders of our ancestors? What in the world is going on? Somebody done lost their mind. We got it all mixed up. So are you telling me science didn't actually come from the white man, but from Africans in the Nile Valley in Western Asia? Man, who in the world is lying to us?
Uh-oh. I'm thinking that somebody has lost their mind. I'm trying to figure out, is it me? Am I tripping? Maybe I just magically changed those words. Man, I'm trying to stand at the point to push you forward so you can understand, so you don't get beat on a daily basis and spend your money in foolery. Mess around and take some crazy information back to your grandma, back to your cousin. Have them thinking they eating some vegetables and some daggone spinach and gonna save themselves and cure themselves of cancer, and they end up dying when they could have actually got some medical treatment. Let me tell y'all something. This why it's funny to me. I understand the walking contradiction. Because once you start to get your feet wet a little bit in how the natural world works, you start to see it a little bit different. And everybody got it honest. Check this out. America, whether you like America or not, that's another conversation, leads the world in science and technology. Hands down. Mm-hmm. But 50% of Americans are anti-science. How the hell is that going down? What I'm saying is we don't need a whole lot of the Black community, African American community being scientifically illiterate. We can't stand it as much. It's 200 million Europeans and about 38 million Africans in America. We can't afford it. We got to put ourselves in a position to teach our babies and put themselves in a position to teach their babies. We can't play with this like this. Man, the flat earth is just a symptom of a deeper underlying problem that's going on in our community. It's a symptom. It's not the problem. It's a symptom of a deep-rooted problem. When you start to say don't read books, when you start to say it ain't in the book, well, damn, before books was, what did they do? They tried to memorize, and you know how that worked. I thought you said this. Nah, I said that. Nah, I said this. And they would all go, I said, what the hell? That was 100 years ago. And Billy told Tommy, here's an experiment for all y'all that think it's dope not to have no books, you record the information. Get about 5 people, make it 10. One person tell the next person to them something. By the time the shit come back around you, it ain't even the same thing. It ain't what you said. This happens consistently. But didn't our ancestors give the world writing? They did. And I'm not talking about our direct ancestors. I'm talking about Africans on the continent of Africa. We're the first to write. And now we spit on it. And then y'all wonder why I say what I say and do what I do. I say what I say and do what I do, and I mean what I mean. And I mean it because we got to knock it off. I understand we got it honest, man. I ain't tripping off that. I'm saying don't spend your money, man. Learn about some annuities. Learn about some stock, some trading. Put a little bit of that in there. Don't be spending it on bark root, chicken root. A whole lot of the stuff you get, and it'd be bad by the time you get it. The what's it called? The moss of the sea.
The sea moss, yeah.
The moss of the sea. All these things is cool. Might have minerals, and it's cool. Not saying don't do it. What I'm saying is, best fit to get your vitamins and stuff from your food. That's where you get the most from your food, right? And all this foolishness and nonsense about your body heals itself, I agree. Your body does heal itself to a very, very high level. Your immune system can travel the stars and figure out the codes from different pathogens and diseases anywhere in the cosmos, ladies and gentlemen. So why would they put together something that would go against that? Don't you think that human beings are smart enough at a certain point to recognize how serious your immune system is? The problem is y'all make a misjudgment and a mistake. You know enough not to know enough. You know just enough not to understand. You know enough to talk that talk, but you don't know enough to know when you're wrong. And I'm telling you, in these situations, you're wrong. You're wrong about the earth, and there's reasons for that, right? And you're wrong about understanding your immune system. You're just wrong. The best thing you can do for your immune system is what? Eat a proper diet. No one denies that. Get rest. Get exercise. This is the best thing you do for your immune system. But this doesn't make your immune system super, super bubbly, super pop. No, it keeps it balanced. If your immune system goes out of balance, you will die. I'm going to say this again. If you got an overpowerful immune system, it's going to kill you. If your immune system is not good enough, you're going to die. It's about having your immune system working properly. That's what proper nutrients do for that. But even with all that, 350 million years of human beings having proper immune system, we're talking pre-industrial age, no chemicals, no pesticides in the waters, none of that. Human beings were ravaged with pathogens, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't have the answer. So there's a price to pay when dealing with the human immunity. Some will live and some will die. And this is where the rubber meets the road, and this is where everybody falls out. So yes, I admit that the best weapon you got is your immune system. But sometimes, by the time the immune system figures out the code,
it's too late.
You're dead.
Yep.
Ask the Native Americans.
They had the best immune system. They're eating corn. They sitting back with the peyote and the cigar, and they smoking the peace pipe. And the daggone pathogen came through and wiped them out. Y'all think the Europeans actually beat the Native Americans? Yep. They didn't. You know what I'm saying? Cortez and them didn't defeat, you know what I'm saying, the Aztecs. They didn't. What happened was, it was the smallpox. So when they was fighting against the European Sanchez and them, Cortez and them, I say Sanchez, Cortez and them, right? You know, the Native Americans would take, you know, the hurt soldiers, they would take them back to base camp, and they would, you know, they would imprison some of them that they captured. They would take them back, you know what I'm saying, to base camp, and when taking them back to base camp, it would get the other population sick based off of smallpox. So it was really the smallpox and infection disease that actually wiped out millions of Native Americans. It wasn't the war, it wasn't the fight like most of y'all think. Matter of fact, by the time Cortez and them left, and then the other Spanish conquistadors came back, yo, they was already decimated. Diseases from rats and stuff that was coming off the boats decimated them. They couldn't even enslave the Native Americans because they would always get sick. Why? Because the Europeans had old world immunity and the Native Americans had new world immunity. And this is why we teach evolution, so y'all can get the whole spectrum of what's really going on. So a person can't trick you. Old world immunity, new world immunity. What's the new world? The new world is where where human beings walked from Africa to the Americas. And over a period of time, they developed different immunities to different things, getting away from the old world and the old pathogens. So over 100,000 years or so, they no longer had immunity to the old world pathogens. Europeans did because they was in the old world. They was in the Greek Empire, they was in the Roman Empire, and they was always around Africans. So they had immunity. The Native Americans wasn't around the Roman Empire. That's how we know that y'all ain't no daggone Indians like y'all act like. Because we understand your immunity. Romans, Greeks, Hittites, they was all around Africans in the old world, the ancient world. But the Native Americans wasn't around the Romans. They wasn't around the Greeks. They wasn't around none of that. So they had a whole different set of circumstances that the immune system had to deal with. And the New World had a whole different set of circumstances, the immune system. And they also gave Europeans diseases too. This is what decimated the population with their great immune system. It's something we missing here. It's something we had to learn. There might be a book we need to read before we start running our mouth telling people that one, the earth is flat, and two, some information about an immune system. We missing something here, and you stand up and you beat your chest and you tell your family members because you got some new information and you got it from a daggone pseudo. That's why I use the word pseudo, because it means false. Pseudoscience is something that looks like science, but it's not. Brother Sanchez cannot come in the room talking about science. Don't do it. Knock it off. If he uses that word science, he's lost.
You know another angle you got him on? As soon as he says anything, if any of his responses to you is white science, all you literally got to do is start talking about the history of the flat earth movement. The history of the flat earth movement is it's a historical fact. It's firmly rooted in the Middle Ages in Europe. And it's started by Christians and Catholics who believe that the Bible was literal. It's really a creationist doctrine. So if you claim to be from Kemet, if you claim to be anything other than a Christian, then the flat earth is foreign to you, because it comes from, like you always find a saying, it comes from the ignorant white people. It comes from the people that ain't know nobody. It comes from the spooked out white people. So when you're regurgitating flat earth, that's who you're going off of. All right, who we got?
Hey, we got Mr. Robinson. What's going on, Black Lotus?
What up? Scholar Killer in the
Scholar
building?
Killer.
What's good?
Oh, nothing much. You already know, globe denier. I'm in between globe earth and flat earth. I'm a globe denier. So I set my own path. My path is narrow.
Oh my God.
Man, look, Lotus, I've been beating you up for years, man. I'm not even listening to you. You my man, though.
What? Beat me up? No, you been getting beat up for years.
For years. Matter of fact, I don't even have a conversation with you no more.
Decades now.
Yeah, decades. I don't even argue with you no more. We had that one conversation.
The one that was gonna go for 20 minutes and went for 2 hours.
It went longer than that. We was at 6 o'clock in the morning, yo. I say never again. Serious B, I said never again, yo.
Oh man,
I'm done. He could never give me another conversation again.
No, you didn't have a woo in it. You didn't have a woo in there, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Ujjawa was going in circles for like an hour. Like, man, what the hell?
Man, he is crazy. Look, I ain't even messing with Black Lotus no more, yo.
Hey,
he
but
got a whole nother meta-nature. Listen,
hey.
I'm gonna give you a synopsis. He has a whole nother meta-nature, yo. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Leave it at that.
That's right.
Hey,
Look,
but Black
we
Lotus,
don't want to do it.
If you've carved your own path with the flat Earth, that's par for the course, because it depends on which flat earther you're talking to. Everyone has a unique explanation of this whole phenomenon, which is called the flat. So yeah.
Man,
So
I was talking about
can't even agree with each other.
I was talking about flat Earth before Sanchez had a channel, man. Come on, man. This is old news. I was talking about Aboriginal stuff back 2009, 2010, beating up Native Americans.
So you believe all the false stuff, huh?
Nah, he don't believe that.
No, I have Native American ancestry. I know who my ancestors are, and Native Americans are not from here. I'm doing a whole series on that too. But flat Earth versus globe Earth.
You say what? What?
Oh yeah, my Native American ancestor came from Siberia.
Oh, okay,
and not on no damn Bering Strait.
Yeah, that's real.
Not on no Bering Strait. I'm talking about came here in the 19th century.
I don't know what you're talking about now, yo.
Then you ain't a Native American. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Then you're not a Native American. They immigrants.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yes, Native Americans.
I'm gonna let Aunt do that then. Go ahead. Yeah, that's
I'm not doing that.
No. Flat Earth versus globe Earth. Y'all not ready for that information.
Yeah, those are grits for another meal.
Natives that came here in the 18th century. Wow.
19th century.
All right, let them have it. Let them have it.
All right, man. You're right. If you say so, bro.
Nope, relax. Nobody actually thinks that Earth is a globe, neither, yo. Just for the record. Like those who really study understand that no, the Earth ain't actually a globe, but check this out: the sun and all is so far away from us, right? It all comes together and looks like a globe. So we solid, bro. Like we get it. We get why it looks like a globe. We get it, but it's still spherical, elliptical. We do know that, and it's the size of the Earth, the size and shape of the Earth changes over time. We understand all that. Just for the record.
And science says that just in case. It covers use cases where you need to have absolute precise measurements for use cases when you're doing things. So they say, okay, well, the Earth isn't a perfect sphere; it's an oblate spheroid, right? But again, those are for precision measurement type of use cases. But for all intents and purposes, when we have a conversation about the Earth, it's a globe for us.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I hope you got a source for bro Sanchez with that, because I don't see any globe, spheroid, oblate, globular, nothing. I hear people saying it in some mystical, magical measurements, but I have never seen a globe before.
You would have to read to see the proof for that, and if you don't read, you're not going to see the proof for it.
No, I'm not doing that.
What? That sounds like the Holy Bible.
No,
I might as well go with JJ and all them than go believe the Bible with Tazariak.
No, that's not how it works.
I want to see it. I want to see the globe.
No, you can see the globe, yo. We see it all the time. Stop it. Knock that off.
You gotta go to that for your proof. You got to go out to space. And if that's the case, you don't have a proof for the flat Earth neither, because you've never seen the whole plane of the Earth.
I agree.
Okay.
That's why I'm not in this debate. But I'm telling you, if you can't show that globe,
man, I can show that. Let me go to Patrick. Of course, I can show it. Patrick, what's on your head? Talk to us.
I'm just wondering.
Look in your eye.
Yeah, I do. I'm really wondering. Everybody's going to gravity. Why aren't we talking about atmospheric pressure?
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Basically, say our Earth goes ahead on. It has an atmospheric pressure. It has an basically. If a comet enters into our atmosphere, what does it do? It catches on fire. Why? Because it's entering into our atmospheric pressure. And by doing that that's what goes on to hold this whole thing together. That's what holds this whole sphere together. That's the reason why water is able to stay on the Earth. Why? Because there is called an atmospheric pressure. Cedric, am I correct or not?
No, you are wrong. Oh, I'm looking at Cedric. But go ahead.
That's right. He's wrong.
You're correct. I'm wrong? So you mean to tell me that you're not held down? You're not held down to this earth by atmospheric pressure?
No.
Q butter, bro. Oh, hold on. Q butter, bro. I just wanted to say my condolences to you, bro. You know what I'm saying, man? Hey, bro. Look, I know you're going through a rough situation, brother, but hey, dude, it's good to see you again, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? That 5-day event, bro, was beautiful, brother. It was beautiful, man. And did the science fair go well, brother?
It's coming up. I actually got to push the date back. Got a lot of stuff happening, man.
We're not held down by atmospheric pressure. We're held to the earth.
Yeah, not the atmospheric pressure, yo. You with gravity though, right, Patrick? You good with gravity, correct?
I'm definitely good with gravity, bro. Okay, because if I jump up, guess what? I'm falling back down, pal.
Yeah. All right, so we're on the same page. We just gotta fix it. Fix a couple tweaks.
That atmospheric pressure.
Here's the kicker. Here's your kicker about atmospheric pressure, though. Right? Because we can.
No, you can't. Whoa.
No. I just wanted to put a dagger in this, right? So when we talk about atmospheric pressure, you know that we can test that, right? Because we can test that in a vacuum chamber. So essentially, a vacuum chamber sucks all of the air pressure out of the vacuum, out of the chamber, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you take two objects in a vacuum chamber and drop those, they still fall to the earth, right? Due to the acceleration of gravity, right? We know what that is, acceleration of gravity at 9.8 meters per second squared, right? We can measure that, right? With absolutely zero air, right? With no atmosphere in that chamber. So again, right? There's tests, there's observational evidence, right? That we can use to test your hypothesis.
Logic.
Does it kind of make sense, Patrick?
Is it working?
It kind of makes sense, bro. But the one thing about it is this here, though, I always see it as basically say water doesn't fall off of the goddamn earth because we don't have atmospheric pressure.
Huh?
You mean you talking about like the rain?
No, that's gravity, right? Bro.
Water would fall just like anything else falls in a vacuum chamber due to gravity. Due to gravity.
If you enter our atmospheric pressure, right? Basically, you're going to head on entering into a different sphere of things. You're entering into a different chemical element of air, everything like that. There, we have air, we have water, we have all that stuff there. Other planets, you know what I'm saying? You enter into their atmospheric pressure. Would you be able to exist there? No, you would not. Why? Because you don't have air. You don't have trees. You don't have carbon dioxide. All that stuff.
I think that's a different question.
It's a little different.
We need an atmosphere. Yeah, of course we need an atmosphere for biological organisms to live. Yes. But that's not, the effects that we see due to gravity aren't contributed to the atmospheric pressure. I think that's what we're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you understood. I don't think you understood what Sirius would be said. He's saying that when you put something in a vacuum tube, you pretty much remove the concept of the atmospheric pressure, and the object inside a vacuum tube is still affected by gravity, even though it's isolated from our atmosphere. So for what you said to be true, if you in a vacuum, solid objects would float because they're not they're separated from the atmosphere. I don't think you understand what B is really saying.
Right, similar to like a helium balloon.
Example. Like the video, thumb up the video.
Hey y'all gotta like up the video, man. Make sure y'all go over there to the Pseudo Killers, man, and go ahead and we rolling. We want to get to 3,000 subscribers, man. Over there. Over there.
We'll give you
all right, go ahead, Sirius B. That's a funny name, yo. Sirius.
I'll give the brother Patrick another example, and I like talking about the vacuum chamber, right? Because there's a lot of interesting experiments you can do with a vacuum chamber. Like for instance, a helium balloon. We know a helium balloon floats in our atmosphere because of the buoyancy, right? Right. Helium is less dense than regular air, so it's affected by the upward force of the buoyancy. But if you put a helium balloon in a vacuum chamber, it falls just like anything else, because there is no fluid buoyancy, right? There is no buoyant force due to the atmospheric pressure that you talk about that doesn't exist in the vacuum chamber. So it falls just like anything else, right? A matter of fact, a helium balloon would fall just as fast as a bowling ball in a vacuum chamber due to gravity.
Yeah, but then we spinning 1,000 miles per hour. People don't know that, you know what I'm saying? You don't even feel it.
I feel like I'm by myself. Q Butter, you following what I'm putting down, right? You following me.
Q Butter,
absolutely.
Don't do it. Yeah. Don't do it, Q Butter.
I'm following what you put down, B.
The natural world is counterintuitive. We say it all the time, right? Yeah. This whole idea, and I think a part of our problem here as well is that we see a lot of cross-domain violations, right? In terms of a lot of these conversations that we have, right? Again, right? Nobody likes to learn calculus, but everybody loves to live in a house where the roof doesn't fall in on their head, right? Right. I can deal with you when you say that gravity isn't real, right? But what I would ask you to do, don't try to construct a weight-bearing structure, right? Because as soon as you try to construct a weight-bearing structure, you're going to have major problems, right? So let the architect, he believes in gravity and he deals with it as such, right? So don't step in his domain and tell him that the gravity isn't real. Because to do his job properly and safely, he has to account for those forces, right? So those are the cross-domain violations, and it's very easy for us. We like to enjoy the creature comforts. Like I say, we live in safe homes. We like to take trips on safe airplanes and things like this, right? But we let other people do the hard work. We let other people do the mathematics. We let other people do the engineering, right? And understand the forces in the natural world, right? So we can't do that.
Yeah, I would add too with the on the PSI statement. Unc, what up? You got to add that to the car's performance degrades every 1,000 feet above sea level, and it says it on your car. And if you have turbos, your turbos are based off of the height you are above sea level, and the atmospheric pressure is finely tuned specifically to gravity that you have at different height levels. So it's like, you meet it, Unc?
Yeah, you're right. It's like playing a game of football in Denver.
Exactly.
Right? That high altitude, right? Yeah, all that. The oxygen levels a little bit different. The whole thing, the atmosphere. Yeah, man. Come on, man.
So another thing he left out with the atmosphere is a blend of the entropy, of the chemistry, of the gases and gravity. So you have the pressure that's produced by temperature and heat just moving around particles, and those particles moving around, and then you have gravity trying to compress. The exact same thing going on in the sun is just a micro version of it. You know, the sun has compression of gases and plasmas, and those energies is being pushed in, pushing, and then gravity's pushing them in, and gravity's eventually going to win. You know, because gravity is not based off of gravity's a infinite resultant force. So gravity will never lose. It's the result of mass. So once you have mass needs energy and movement. Gravity don't need anything but somebody to be in the building.
Yeah. Be in the building, two objects contract to each other.
Yep.
What's going on, Skinny Head? Talk to us.
Yo, I was serious. B was right. I had another example to add to it, like the pressure underwater. It's not gravity ain't causing that pressure underwater. It's the water itself being smashed together. The further we go out, closer like to space, things like I ain't explaining the right word.
Out in space, things are farther apart, so you don't got it's not as strong. You feel me?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So in the water, remember, gravity pushed everything to center mass. So the water is trying to find center mass, right? It's pushing water in all directions. That's why the water don't come off the planet. That's why you got a bubble. Surface friction. We can't hear you, Q.
Yeah, so
I was gonna say a lot of times.
Using that wrong. That's I mean, the pressure.
Hey, Skinny, your thing messing up.
Yeah, I can't.
What's his name?
You can't hear you, yo. You got to go out and come back in. I got you. I see you, but I can't.
Another misconception I hear a lot with water is that people think of water past the molecule. Gravity only looks at water as a molecule.
Right, that's it.
Each individual molecule of water is against Earth. It's not the entire ocean. It's that one molecule against Earth. And those molecules are on top of each other and stacked up and stacked up and stacked up. People look at it like, oh, how's this body of water? No, it's billions and billions and billions of molecules on top of each other.
Yeah. So it's all I'm asking for him to win the conversation is a picture of the flat Earth. Hey, Serious B, do you got that picture of the flat Earth? Don't you got it?
Yeah, I see.
Put that. Come on, we're gonna put that picture.
So this is the contrast, right? They always say, okay, well, yeah, you got to show me a picture of the globe Earth that isn't photoshopped, right? They always say that, right? But then they'll turn around and show you something similar to what I'm going to get ready to show you, right? And say that this is a more acceptable picture. So of course, you can't believe the photoshopped Earth.
Better have that picture
but
with him.
But you can believe this.
Better have that picture with him.
Yeah, you can believe this. Of course, this isn't the photoshopped picture, right? That blue marble that's photoshopped. Of course, you can't believe that. But here, accept this. Right.
What is the thing?
How is this even any better? How is this any better?
Is that water leaving? Is that the what? No, that's the Great Ice Wall.
That's the ether.
I was gonna say that's the rockets. Like, how's the
that's the
rockets
pushing the plane up?
How's the water fall?
There you go. There you go. The rockets of the
that's the rockets pushing the plane up because it ain't gravity.
Oh man. That's the exhaust of the accelerated plane.
Yeah, that's the exhaust.
Yo, that's the things that's on the spaceship. You know how you let out the lower air and it make you move. That's how you move in space. Let out the lower air. So they got little men at each station that hit the button every 5 hours and make it move a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me, yo, so we gotta act, there's something going on in the brain. Think about that, y'all. When you look at this picture right here, and for you to actually think, so this picture represents ignorance of 1, geology, 2, geodesy, understanding ocean currents, understanding plate tectonics. That's a theory, you know. You miss all of that. It's a misunderstanding of all them things right there. It's crazy. And then you got water leaving. How do water get back? Do it just fall down and then recircle back and dive back in the ocean? How does that work? That's crazy to me, man. And that's a wall, ice wall.
Yo, there's another piece to add in here. Island arcs. If the Earth was flat, all of the island arcs would be in the same position, and they would have the same arc. Earth, one of the greatest proofs for plate tectonics and the Earth's curvature is island arcs. It is literally directly connected to the curvature and the spin of the Earth. Like I'd be like, don't y'all know what island arcs are? You can measure the growth rate of new islands in their position based off of the rotation of the Earth. If this was spinning, that little island right there, Japan, all of these would have the same arc. Like when if you look at the spiral arms of a galaxy, all of the arms have a similar arc because they're all falling underneath the same tangential forces. So if an object is on a planet and they're all going in the same spinning circle, they would have the same tangential centrifugal forces against them. So the island arcs would be forming like spiral arms. That's a direct fact. There's no getting around that. I didn't even think about that till you put it flat. Like, y'all understand what I'm saying? Like,
you might be ready for Sanchez.
But they also say, hey, the Earth isn't moving, right? They also say in terms of the spinning, it's staying still, doesn't move.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, and it's the sun is moving around within the dome, and that's why half the Earth is lit and half of it isn't. They're saying that the sun is inside the dome is not as big and strong as we think it is, and it's kind of like having a low watt light bulb in a big room where the light bulb in the corner is lit up, but if you go to the opposite corner, it'll be dark. So they depending on which flat earther depending on what flat earther you're talking to, they're going to come up with a different explanation for a lot of the phenomena, and that's why it's kind of that's another reason why it's hard to debate them, because you never know which angle that they're going to come from on any particular given day.
Nah, Unc already broke it down. When you was breaking down the thinking process and patterns and how it could be dangerous or it could lead you down the wrong path. That's powerful.
Yep.
Because you could break down any pseudo stuff with that. That's how our brain kind of work, and how you would do research and study and stuff to even find out the answers to shit and all of that. But if you keep pointing out the contradictions, how you did that would blow him out the water right there with the whole that's white science, but then they pull from. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then when dudes jumped up there talking about this imaginary math and all of that type stuff, that's where the conversation ends with most of them type people. Like you, as soon as you say that, because what's your math on the flat Earth? It's crazy.
Let's be real. I ain't gonna lie, Unc. I ain't told you, Unc, can tell you what happened this last week, but I'm at full war. I can't even publicly yet, but I'm at full war with pseudos. We're creating a generation of children that are heading down the path of mental. I'll put my camera on. We are going to see a level of mental retardation that we've never seen before. Children who actually argue and believe the dumb shit they parents believe because they watch their parents send them to school. Then when they come home, don't listen to them. They tell you, the Earth is really flat. Don't listen to nobody tell you, the Earth is really 6,000 years. In 2023, you have fucking the next generation up with this level of pseudoism. I'm talking about you come around me with copper, crystals. You talk about your name is Mikael, Israel, something like this. You start talking about I'm not. My pops just died, and I'm not giving nobody, and this ain't got nothing to do with my pops, but you are going to get full. Yo, you sound fucking crazy, my man. Do you have mental health issues? Do you need help? Who is around you? What type of friends do you have? Where do you hang out? Do you smoke? Do you mess with mushrooms? Can you read? When was the last time you had a reading comprehension test? Because we play like it's cool, but we let a lot of this pseudo shit go by, and people are smoking this sun, moon, and star shit.
I ain't never let it slide. I ain't never let it slide from day one. Let's do this.
I'm talking as a community. I'm speaking as a community.
Oh yeah, I don't let them slide. That's why I don't nobody hang out. Y'all notice everybody don't hang out with me.
We hanging with you now.
I'm not inviting. I ain't talking about that, yo. I don't be invited to the events, right? None of that shit. They all be pseudo crazy. Had to literally build my own damn community. They wouldn't invite me. Oh, yo, you right, let it slide. Everybody gotta let everybody slide. It's dangerous. Let's do this for a moment. Let's just give a moment of silence for Q Butterfather.
Oh, good. Oh, I didn't expect that.
Moment of silence.
Salute. What's that?
Yeah. We back at it, man. We always want to, respect, I'm saying, the process. We clearly understand the process. You born to die. My thing is, you born ignorant, and hopefully you don't die ignorant. That's the point I want to say here, right? You're supposed to get educated through your life and continue to learn during that journey, your growth and your development. So we all got it honest. We all got misinformation. We all was sitting there. So I'm a detail some of the videos that I had way back in the day and the mistakes I made. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm some type of elitist or somebody think more. That's not the truth. I sit in the same set of circumstances that most of y'all do. I knew enough, but not enough to know when I was wrong. And it took scientific literacy to get me there. See, we wasn't evolved to understand the size and the shape of the earth. See, that's counterintuitive. When you walk outside, it definitely looks flat. Right? You can't see none of that stuff can you see.
No, yo,
you can't fathom that.
No, Unc, it is a problem with language. The reason why these brains are not developed is because they do not understand analogies and phrases. It's the same issue we see with people in the Bible. They take analogies and phrases out of context and they misinterpret it, and their brain doesn't know how to differentiate it. This isn't science. This is literally people do not understand the word analogy and the purpose of analogies in our brain and the ability to symbolize, communicate, translate these ideas we have. People get caught up completely. I be listening, Uncle. I'm like, no, these dudes have real comprehensive issues.
Real comprehensive.
Yeah, but that's another. But listen, what I'm telling you is that science is actually counterintuitive, and for all our lives we follow our senses, and our 5 senses was developed right in the Green Sahara on the savannas, in the forest. It wasn't developed.
I think you misunderstand something. They connecting.
No, I'm not.
When I first came on your channel,
you cut me, but you can't cut me off.
This is some serious stuff, man. And I'm
listen you, what I'm trying to tell you. You gotta get you gotta catch it. When you walk outside, bro, you don't know the earth is moving 1,000 miles an hour. You have evolved on an earth that's moving 1,000 miles an hour, yo. You sure as hell wasn't evolved to realize that it was moving 1,000 miles an hour. You wouldn't have known it. Stone Age people didn't have no idea about that. They actually thought that everything went around the earth, and the earth was, they thought that because why? You stand on the earth, and remember, humans are human-centric. Everything is about us, right? Then the next move is we're earth-centric. Everything is about the earth. Copernicus, right? Remember, they locked my man up. Galileo, he was confirming Copernicus. The Catholics funded him and then locked him up, put him on house arrest. You feeling me? For what? For simply saying heliocentric model? Because he developed the telescope and could see it? Right. So what I'm saying is the evolutionary process that helps us fight off predators, move really, really, really fast, believe that we're in danger when we're not, right? Because it's better to believe you're in danger and live than act like you're not in danger and die. Our senses help us in that, right? But to understand the complex problem of the size and shape of the earth, our mind was not evolved for that. So everybody that believe the earth is flat, they got it honest, and they senses, everything about their senses is telling them that, and we saying something that's counter to that. That's the issue. That's why they can't see it. You can't see that, yo, really ghosts don't talk. There aren't any ghosts. But in your brain, you can actually hear the voices. I hear it. What do you mean? My grandmother was dead and she talked to me. But there's certain processes that the brain go through when you're mourning. You can't see, you hear it. Like, what do you mean? I heard the voice. What are you saying? We want to believe. There's no getting around that. Our mind was actually Stone Age designed to believe, because those who believe more live longer than y'all on this damn panel questioning every goddamn thing. When we talk about time periods going back 350,000, you wouldn't have made it question every damn thing. Back then you had to run, goddammit. You had to duck and dodge and move, right? Hide in the trees. You was food for everything around you. Everything moving. If you break a leg, you're dead. They didn't have no way to fix that. You got to go to the Nile Valley around 2500 where they start setting bones. Your ass is grass, you break a bone. How about this? The Civil War. Man, you get cut, you get shot in the Civil War, you're dead. They didn't even know that blood, you bleeding all over the place, right? They take you to the infirmary and everybody bleed. They didn't know they was the infection. They didn't know about it. You was done. That's why they cut you. Go drink the liquor and cut your arm off, man. You didn't know it was an infectious. They had nothing to do with it. What is an infection? What is that little thing? What? They thought people got sick because of bad water. I could pull it up. The germ theory. You got people right now act like the germ theory ain't real. So I'm trying to tell you our mind wasn't evolved all this. Human beings developed math and then they developed the tools. So this is the whole conversation is counterintuitive. The earth is not moving. What are you talking? We don't feel it moving right. We saying it is moving, but none of y'all can feel it moving. So what makes you think you know the earth ain't moving? Because we use science to tell us. Well, I don't trust white people. I can't trust them. Yeah, you trust them. You eating food. That's my point. It is a mental problem, but Homo sapiens got it honest, bro. That's the point I want.
Yeah. And you know what's real? You know what's real? To underscore that point. Just yesterday, Sinetta was arguing us down that the sun stayed still. So still in 2023, people still don't. Even the people that we feel is conscious don't understand that.
Well, let me play this.
That goes back to the point. That goes to the point that I'm trying to add. What the Q brother was trying to say.
Relax. Let me play this video.
Man, bro, it's Clayton. Go get some water, put it in a cup, and tell me if it takes the shape of the cup and levels out. Y'all crazy as fuck arguing with me.
All liquids,
y'all crazy.
Do that. And you know what does that too, Clayton?
Clayton. Let me play Clayton again. Clayton.
Bro, it's Clayton. Go get some water, put it in a cup, and tell me if it takes the shape of the cup and levels out. Y'all crazy as fuck arguing with me.
All liquids,
y'all crazy.
Do that. And you know what does that too, Clayton?
So we hear Clayton. Clayton talking about the experiment. Let's play the other parts of the experiment. Mr. Clayton.
How much water do we have to? Hold on. What I'm no, I'm not. I'm having fun on my panels. Nobody came through to the vet. I said for you. Okay. For how large? Excuse me. I'm going to ask you a question about this experiment you want us to conduct. How large of a scale do you want this experiment to be? Bro, it's not about the scale. You believe something about water, and all I'm asking you to do, Chris, is go get some water, Chris, and show us what you believe about it. Can you do that, Chris? No, you can't. What are you asking me to believe? Hold on. What are you asking me to believe about it? I'm asking you to prove to me that you believe that large bodies of water can curve into a ball, spin at 1,000 miles per hour, and maintain a spherical shape. I'm asking you to show me how water can do that. Boom. I'm asking you to show me how water can do that. Right, hold on. Watch this. There it is right there. How much water do we have there?
See? Ain't no way out of that.
Yo, these niggas is crazy, bro. Like, that's why I ain't been able to do the YouTube shit for a little while, because I'm not. Honestly, I almost want to leave this now. It's making me angry. Yo, Unc, I'm with you right now, Unc. What would Q Butter Jesus do? Like, it's like something. The fuck is wrong with you, son? All them hits you got in the NFL is why you sound like that. We got NFL, ex-NFL niggas that wasn't even good telling us about science. Go sell Band-Aids and shit. You supposed to be selling Jericho cream and motherfucking Bang Gang and shit. You're not supposed to be talking about science. When the hell are we listening to football players talk about science? When the hell No, take your ass and shut the fuck up. If we gotta start bullying, see the Brooklyn side is coming out, the Philly side, you know what I mean, the Baltimore, I feel you, that's why I ain't been on the internet for the last couple of days. I'm like, yo, son, I can't take the pseudo. I heard you argue with somebody the other day, I almost punched my screen, I'm not even right. I almost punched the tummy. What the fuck is the earth?
Hey, this is what I'm trying to tell you. If you even arguing with some people, it show a sign of your intelligence. You need to get with Q Butter. you got the knowledge and the info, but the way y'all administer it, it's like you're not dealing with the science of the brain.
No,
it's like you're not doing a proper assessment test on how our people is really thinking and operating, and y'all just throwing shit at them, like throwing information at them like they gonna comprehend it. You keep saying counterintuitive.
Let's make something really simple.
Yeah.
We can give you
dumb niggas grouped together, and they're led by dumber niggas. So if you take out the dumbest nigga in front of all the dumb niggas, then the dumb niggas is gonna be confused because they believing in the dumb nigga. Then the secondary dumb niggas is gonna come up with the if they're gonna come up and they're gonna talk Admiral Byrd. They're gonna talk about Electric Universe. Then you gotta beat up them dumb niggas so the people in the back who are really confused can feel confident. And that's what I watched Ankh do for a long time, because there's a lot of people who walking around believing in these fucking crystal rocks, Youngerlee's water. Come on.
Hey, man,
let me give you an example. Let me give you a basic example, right? The brother was trying to explain something with the cup of water, right? And what we're saying is that gravity is a force. Gravity is the force that's keeping the water onto the earth as we see it, right? On the globe, right? So have you ever, when you were a kid, have you ever done this experiment, right? You know the little buckets that you get from the beach, right? When you go to the beach, right? You got the little buckets with a little shovel. Have you ever taken one of those buckets and put water into that bucket, then took the bucket and swung it around? Right?
Yep.
With the water in there? Did the water come out of the bucket? Even when you swing it upside down and you're swinging it with your arm, the water somehow stays in the bucket, right?
Sure do.
Why does the water stay in the bucket? Even when you swing it upside down, if you stop, the water falls out. But if you keep swinging it, you're applying a force to that bucket with your arm as a fulcrum, right? That's what they call a centrifugal force, right? It's the centrifugal force that keeps the water in that bucket from falling out. Similar to how, right, that acceleration of your arm, right, applying the force is similar, right, but in reverse on the earth, right? Because the earth's acceleration is downward towards the center of the earth. It's a basic, sort of a basic analogy to think of it, right? Does that kind of make sense? It's a force.
Yep.
Gravity is a force.
So listen, I don't call black people crazy like that no more. Because at a certain point, you gotta have empathy. And you gotta know that you're fighting against the programming that nature programs you with. It's called evolution. We evolved to survive on Earth. We didn't evolve to understand microorganisms or particle physics. We invented math, and math is logic. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we crazy. It's that human beings, it's like the internet. Watch this. You want to evolve to even understand the damn internet. Now, the shit is all over the place. They trying to figure out regulations on how to navigate the internet. What can a person say, do? They behind. You wasn't automatically, I got the internet. No, we just working this out. See, we overestimate who we are as humans. We was naked in the raw, surviving. We wasn't involved to have no damn clothes. None of that shit was in the game. Slow process over time, building on things time at the time to get us to the point we at. So they got it on us, man. Go ahead, Series B.
I think that, we in the conscious community got so used to going back to ancient times that we got to go back to the beginning of fucking humanity to make sense of this shit. We got to go back to motherfuckers didn't know how to use fire to take that logic from 400, 300,000 years ago. I'm sorry. If you don't understand that air is made of chemicals, you're a moron. If you think that 93, 89 is the same shit, you're a moron. If you think the earth is flat, you're a moron. If you don't understand PSI, you're a moron. And this is what it is in 2023. If we want the black community to level up, we have to remove the morons. We won't have cars. We won't have plumbing. We won't have electricity. We won't have batteries. We will be moronic slaves for people who don't think like this. The rest of the world isn't saying that this shit is hard to understand. They're saying you're dumb if you don't understand it. We don't want to give you a microphone if you don't understand it. We let motherfuckers get a huge microphone, get some chakra beads, put the little sisters. If you come around me with the 3 dots on your head and the spiritual beads, I'm gonna tell your kids, your mom's is poisoning you. And fathers, if you come around talking this, I got to show them the Bible's calendar, you're fucking your kid's head up. Straight like that. You're making us slaves. Because niggas
and Ankh. I see there are several people in the chat threw tomatoes at me with my my bucket at the beach analogy. And you know where I think I went wrong?
Where?
I talked about the swinging of your arm being the fulcrum as applying a force to the bucket. The problem, I don't think a lot of us understand what a force is.
Nope. That's what I'm trying to tell Cool Brother.
Mass times acceleration.
Right. And it goes to Newton's second law. There you go. And they always say if you can understand Newton's second law, right, you're on your way to understanding so many things in the physical world that it's not even funny. Right.
Well, let's look at it. You don't understand what a force is.
Right. You talk about mass times acceleration. Most things in the physical world have a mass, right? And we deal with motion every day, right? Everything's in motion in the physical world. So understanding Newton's second law and what a force is, maybe that's one of the first steps that we have to do.
Well, most people are actually comprehending and reading on the 6th grade level. I think we overestimate that. Being able to read, then actually comprehend what you read. So most people wouldn't even know. They don't even understand a scientific journal. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to know what parts of the paper you can read and comprehend, and what parts of the paper are strictly talking to the scientists. And I've done classes on that.
Now you on point.
Yeah, I've done classes on that on what to read. But when I came into the community, y'all just don't get it. There was no how dare you use a source. What is he talking about? Everybody was freestyling when I came in. That's all the pseudos that they're starting to resurgent and going on 5 Keys channel, right? And getting them millions of views, the blues, the reds, and all that. No, yeah, I've been smashed them out. They got away. Yeah, they went somewhere. They with the Rich. Rich got the super pseudo channel, and he bubbling hard. Bubbling, yo. They don't invite me to the cookouts. You know what I'm saying? I'm the dude that come in there with the serious dudes, with the finest women and the serious dudes, and wish you would. That's me. How dare you use sources? How dare you bring some white man stuff like I didn't even know you supposed to be afraid of white people till I came into the conscious community.
Can I add something, because
hold on, bro. I wasn't even raised like that. To be afraid of any human beings, regardless of the color of their skin. I didn't know it was wrong to read. Sarah Stupid Seti told me, we don't need to go to college. Well, I didn't say everybody needed to go to college. What I said was you need to get a higher education on what you're doing. If you're going to be a plumber, then go be a master plumber, and you still got to go to school. If you're going to be a carpenter, be a master carpenter. You still got to go to school. There's blueprints and stuff you got to learn how to read. So I never understood the running away from education from what I've learned, that the education squarely starts out in a certain area in Africa, squarely.
Y'all remember
somewhere between Africa and Asia. So I never understood this sentiment. So when I came to the community, how dare you use a source? Now they trying to go back to that now. You know why? Because the sources will correct you. And y'all know how we said around here, pseudo always dies at its source. Sanchez not gonna bring no sources. Nothing he says is correct. Nothing. He just doesn't understand. Is he crazy? Well, maybe he's scamming at this point. That's what we like to say. If he was in the Air Force, like you said, then maybe you scamming. Or maybe it's like everything else, right? There's certain terms I'm going to bring out in the conversation. Confirmation bias. We all suffer from that. Always trying to prove yourself right instead of trying to prove yourself wrong. Science seeks to prove itself wrong. It pushes right there. It never stops. We wasn't trained. We was trained that we was the most spiritual. Why else would a group of people claiming not to deal with the white man's religion? Why would you get out of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism and then go into a whole spiritual system made up by white people called pseudoisms, New Age? Why would you do? It's something going on. I just think we got it honest, man. I just think we got it honest. It is what it is, man.
I feel you, but some of these people got to take accountability that they never read a book, they don't read, their family doesn't read, your grandmother doesn't know what electricity means, your father's never read a math book, your grandmother was an ironist, your grandfather worked in the lumber yard, and everybody in your last 7 generations had a collective IQ of about 19. And that's the reality. We have a lot of people with 19 level IQs, 23s, walking around, talking a lot, off of pseudoistic swag. I got mad dots on my head and copper, and this shit appeals to people that don't really read it either.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Look, y'all hear that? We at the end of it, man. It's been a hell of a show, man. Q, you going live or what? Yo, what you doing? Or you chilling?
I got my personal emotional space isn't in the most safe. I might, you know what I mean? I don't have my typical patience level.
I wanted you to come over here and vent and get it out. Now you feel like I feel for the last 15 years.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Boy.
Yeah, you having your moment, yo. Don't worry about it, yo. We at the right space, yo. They coming. They coming, yo. We got 330 in the building, man. Shout out to the Pseudo Killers, man. Make sure you hit that link, man. Make sure y'all support, man. Hear that top level conversation we gonna have, man, on 13th. May the 13th, 7 o'clock, man. Be in the building, man. Building, and watch Sanchez defeat the God Killer. Can he do it? Do we got that picture of the flat earth? I don't think so. What are you going to tell us that we already don't know? I don't know. Shout out to the Pseudo Killers, man. Man, support that channel, man. We trying to get 3,000 subscribers, man. We fighting. Got the tank. Stand the tank, man.
We're at war. Peace.
We're at war, yo. Man, we got the famous Q Butt in the building, man. We know it. Super Wavy doing his thing, man. Cedric, the Pseudo Killer, man, is here, man. Cream is in the spot, man. Well, we got the lovely followers, man. We got the haters. We got Gillian Black. We got Twilight Zone. We got everything is everything. Absolutely. Man, the stars is out tonight, man. They here, man. We getting it, man. Some learning, some not. Some hating, some not, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Love to everybody, man, around here, man. We doing our thing. We living, man. We living, man. Yeah. Feeling it, man. We in here, man. Serious B. Y'all know what it is, man. All day, man. Yeah, man. Y'all know, man. The God Killer up in here, man. We keeping it strong, yo. Yeah, y'all know what it is, man. We're gonna take it away, yo. Smash Rockwells. Y'all know what it is, man. I'm a Raw Squad up, Magi Archers, man. Take your way with this. Oh, shit.
If you ain't Sinetta, no time for that interview, dog. I put my shit out for niggas, I don't send it to blogs. Clan killer off the Buddha, not being discreet. One puff this big pops and projectiles. Between the sheets. Sun run, cold game, bring your cleats. The best flow blow, Eskimo, penguin feet. Don't need no blunt to burn. You run the turf with 10 niggas on the block. That's a punt return. Ayo, Dolomite prototype soldier with the solar light. Saber and he hold it like he hold a mic. Golden ice pendants. Sipping on that overpriced poltergeist spirits. Ripping at the open mic. Spoke the nice lyrics like Mama moved mean overnight. Golden motorbike holding on some Tron shit. That nice neon kit is on it. The king's libation with exotic liqueur. The queen's vibration like a Sada Shakur. A lot of decor, imported foreign threads, they ain't got at the store. Nubian Kush and black top pottery jaws, 39% THC, the quality pure. Old rapper powder spit ain't hot as before. It's like I'm 5 flights above, bust the shots at the floor. Cats switch up their style when they ain't got it no more. Cause they gotta keep their product in stores to feed their kids. See what that weed did? Yes, man, agreeing on everything we said. I smell the mic like it's the love of my life. Don't get sliced and beat with the butt of the knife. Brother polite, I say I'm animalistic, cause I still be in the hood with my hand on my pistol. The Hebrews think I'm cannibalistic, E5 divination, channel the mystic, audio visionary. Let's play poetical Pictionary. Picture me burning down your missionary. Yeah, then I send you religion. That red dot on your head, that's Hindu tradition. Invisible, independent, intrinsic shit. I'll bring it all to an end with indivisible games. Charles Xavier, getting your brain. Mental anguish or manifesting physical pain. Wizard remains to dance in the chemical rain. Breathe slow, then I'm up out of this physical plane. Got military machinery that exercise weaponized greenery. Shine at a jeopardize the scenery, son. Bruh, the beam 10 times your distance. Inclines conventions. Stop rising with no trend line resistance. The parabolic breakout. I'm F-16 with the aeronautic fake out.